Hello everyone, it's Phil here from PC Games N, and I'm joined by Joel.
Hello.
And we continue our journey throughout time in Civilization 6.
Phil's journey at the helm of Japan.
It's not been going great so far, and by the sounds of it, it didn't go great then either. So what's happened is, I've not had a great start. I lost a settler really early on. Thanks for pointing that out in the comments a billion times.
Keep
everybody.
it coming.
And we're now at war with Roosevelt and the Americans.
That was on him, though. I'm not blaming you for that.
It was a
really
surprise war.
Act of unprovoked aggression, I felt.
It neatly demonstrated the new addition of different war types in this game. So you can either...
Oh, here he is again.
Where I think... we can finally make peace with them. Easy as that.
Easy as that, then, is it?
So I think what happened there was...
What a rubbish war that was.
Yeah. It was sort of our own private Cold War. There wasn't really any... Oh, I've declared my friendship with him as well. So if you're watching this for the first time, I'm not playing this right now. I'm sort of commentating on a playthrough that I did at 2K with some preview code. So I'm sort of retrospectively analysing my expert strategies.
It's post hoc banter, I believe they call it.
Yes, post hoc. Yeah. So we've solved probably the biggest problem that we've had to date. Just by making immediate friends with Roosevelt.
Now, you haven't even founded your second city yet, have you? I'm not trying to twist the knife, but you haven't.
I don't know. Has anyone pointed that in the comments? I'm not sure. So yeah, I've ended up having to spend a lot of gold on building up a load of warriors because I had one warrior when Roosevelt declared war, and he was at the other end of the map. He was about to escort the settler down to the southeast, where there were some nice lush lands there, a nice lake, and some resources to be had. There were still barbarians
sort of wandering
everywhere.
Pack of nomads, really, at the moment. Your civilization.
So I've got a settler here, and he's got an accompaniment from a barbarian. I think I just want to send him down to the south there. So I'm not sure why I've sent him across slightly to the.
It's fun watching you second guess your own decisions.
Yeah, because obviously we'd all do it differently with 2020, hindsight. But you just got to live with the decisions.
Well, that's what we're here for. We're teaching you what not to do.
Kyoto itself is actually doing okay, and it's got some quite good natural resources around the land. I think also the territory expands at a quicker rate in Civ 6 than it did in 5. I can't verify that exactly. I just get that sense. And I think it's also a little bit cheaper to buy tiles. So by the look of it, on the bottom left there, I've bought that food tile because it's going to boost my city's growth.
It's a weird shaped river that's running around your city, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm no geographer, but I don't think
I'm
really
aptly
like
demonstrating how cheap it is to buy tiles.
Oh, look at that for timing.
So I've gone and plonked a district there because it's near both a river and a mountain. So that's going to be really good for science districts because mountains give a +1 science bonus, I think. Here is also going to be a good place for a city. So I'm clearing out barbarians, and I think I'm going to try and settle around here.
Just smacked a man in the face with a massive rock on a stick.
Yeah, that's,
Can't build a civilization without breaking skulls.
You want to make an omelette?
As they say, you've got to kill some people.
You've got to brain a barbarian.
Yeah.
You're right, Pedro. Pedro's letting us know that he's okay with us because we're not trying to build loads of great people. So if you've been watching previous... yeah, a lot of these are actually sort of backhanded compliments. Yeah. If you're not doing that well at a particular thing that another civilization wants to do well at, then they'll just sort of patronisingly let you know that you're not a threat to them. Like,
yeah.
All right, mate.
Yeah. You're not building any wonders. You've got no great people. You've only got one city. We're now best mates.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. So for anything good to come of all this, maybe I decided let's just keep it all under the radar.
You're inadvertently the most diplomatic man in Civ history.
Exactly. Although I have been at war already.
Yeah, but again, wasn't really your fault.
No. So I'm agonisingly close to building my second city.
You're going to build it right next to that little,
turns
that little
in.
lake.
I mean, that's an absolute disaster. I'm not sure I've ever left it 62 turns. Now,
why is Roosevelt's face on your little turn?
Well, we can see how much more advanced other civs that we've met are than us.
Oh dear.
So Civ has entered a different era than us. We're still pottering around in the ancient era, and I think he's in the Renaissance.
Right.
So that's a
That's
problem
quite a long
for
way
us.
ahead.
Yeah, but I think if I'd have wanted to get straight to the Renaissance, I could have researched fewer techs in the tech tree, and just gone for it.
I could do that, but I don't want to.
Exactly.
Yeah, very much
I
so.
don't have anything to prove to him. We're good friends now.
He'll be rocking beautiful marble sculptures of Greek men's torsos in no time.
Exactly.
And look at you scrabbling around in the dirt.
Braining men with my
Yeah.
stick with a rock on the end of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've got a bit more barbarian clearing to do, particularly that scout because
They are prolific, aren't they, the barbarians? They're everywhere.
yeah,
this
well it's
time
the
round.
scouts that do it, you see, because they report back to bases, and then when more warriors spawn, then they go specifically after your units and your cities. So I don't want him to get up to Kyoto there, because otherwise I'll have all sorts of trouble.
Yeah.
The settler still hasn't settled. It's turned 63.
I think he would with a name like that, wouldn't you?
He's not living up to his promise so far. The barbarian goes off. Oh, we found a camp. Okay, well that's good, because that means that scout probably was spawned at that camp. If we kill the scout and kill that camp, then we're okay on the south, and then on the north, there's the camp, there's the warrior.
Yeah, you seem like you got the manpower up here to deal with this.
Yeah, no, the problem is we're actually quite far north. Where we spawned our first settler was fairly far north in the first place. So if we go too much further, all these snowy tiles here are tundra, and it's really slow to build a city on tundra. So we're a little bit limited by the geography. We've got to push south, but that's where everyone else is. We've only met 3 other civs so far. Victoria, who's sort of grimly ambivalent towards us. Roosevelt, who we've been at war with and are now best friends. And Pedro II of Brazil, who is fine with us because we're too pathetic to be a threat to him.
Yeah, good.
I think we're dangerously close to founding a city.
I'm excited, Phil. I've been waiting for this for, 2 hours now or something like that? Well, it feels like that anyway.
A while. Longer than it should have been.
Longer than it should have been.
Okay, this is the one. Do I want to be exactly there? Or maybe
This
there?
might not be the one, everyone.
Oh.
Stand down.
This is going to be the one that decides it. Oh, I don't want to go there. Bit more barbarian clearing to do here.
There's some lovely deer up there.
So I don't want to spend too much time addressing this, but I will address that my standard of play has been called into question in the comments. And all I'd really say is that although I've played Civ games before, this was my first time playing Civ 6. It's got some new systems, and I wasn't really trying to go for
Good.
esports level.
Imagine this as an
I was just
esport.
having a
My
potter
gosh.
around. Yeah, I was just learning some new systems, and I was playing on Prince, which is a little bit trickier than I usually play, and barbarians work a little bit differently. So,
Yes, we'd like to see you do any better, frankly.
I mean,
Ranges.
as always, thank you for pointing out every tiny error that I made along the way. But
Hey, it's all engagement. You got to get that engagement up.
yeah, we do like the comments. I just wanted to go some way to explaining why some of my decisions might not look great in hindsight.
Sucker,
So
there
there
it
we
is.
go.
Look at it in all
In other
its
words,
glory.
Suck it, everyone, because I've just built
I
2
sucker
cities.
it. Yeah, there you go. Brilliant. Right, we're rocking this shit
And we're not
now.
too far away from the Renaissance era as well. And I think it's at this point when I realise,
You're next to some lovely whales.
so I'm actually in a decent position now to start going for science rather than I didn't really have a game plan starting out.
No.
But Kyoto's quite a good little hub for science once we clear out the barbarians to the north. And I've already built 1 science district next to that mountain. So it might be an idea to go for the science victory. And I didn't really want to get
Victory.
involved in victory. Yeah, exactly. I didn't really want to get involved in any more combat because I always end up doing that if I play Japan. I just go for domination victories and it gets a bit boring. And you stretch yourself quite thin, and it's quite hard to make any money because you're paying for so many unit costs because you've got an army spread out all over the world map.
Oh, you might be in a bit of bother here. Oh, no,
Yeah,
maybe
they're
not. Maybe not.
quite tough. I think they might have had a a bonus for already being sort of fortified in their base. I've set a worker to construct an improvement. They're sort of a 3-shot deal this time. So rather than just automating them and setting them off across the world map to build roads and farms and whatever, you have to manually put them in a
I feel
tile.
like people are going to get annoyed about that.
Well, no, I think it works quite well because district are so important, and you have to sort of keep tiles free for thinking about 10 or 50 turns ahead. You wouldn't want a worker just sort of blithely milling through and just deciding, oh, I'll build like a
Right.
A road here, and then it means that you've got to destroy that later on
Right.
to
Okay.
build a
Well,
one.
fair enough.
No time for Victoria there because I've got stuff to attend to.
So are these? Oh, there's a lot of Brazilian cities around, it would seem.
Yeah, they,
You're in their hood.
as should I really. I would have had the 3, of course, so I'd be sort of matching what I've seen of Brazil so far.
Just go crabbing. Do a bit of crabbing.
I think I do go crabbing at
Oh,
some
very
point.
nice.
So it's at this point that really I should start thinking of building another settler. I think there are, at this stage in the game, it's probably about 30 turns to wait, or probably about 600 gold. I've got 317
It's a
gold.
lot of gold, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not spending my gold on very much though, and I don't have a tremendous unit cost to maintain. So I think what I'll end up doing is buying another settler and setting them off somewhere else because really need to boost that production. And I think what I'm also doing here is getting some of my warriors to garrison my cities so that I don't have to pay the unit cost. And if Roosevelt decides to declare war again,
You never know with him.
he's a
capricious,
tricksy one.
capricious man.
So
It's
I
really
think
wintry up there, isn't it?
yeah, I'm gonna set those warriors up to explore just to see if there is anywhere that might be hospitable for Japan, but it's pretty barren. Like there's one deer resource there, but not great.
The costs are rather too dear.
Right. Oh, so Pedro's offered some open borders there in exchange for 54 gold. I want the gold because I need to build another settler and I can't wait another 30 turns or however long.
No.
So,
And
we've discovered masonry.
Overturn, and broils root out the work of
The
masonry.
Shakespeare quote there, as read by Scene Bean.
that'll come in handy for the next few thousand years, I think, the knowledge of masonry.
Reckon it might.
I really
that the
like the
top of
way
the
the
map?
world map looks, Joel.
Yeah, you've reached the sides.
It looks like a sort of tactile thing that
Yeah, I
a massive
like
god's
it.
holding in their hands.
I like it a lot.
And we're just
Sort of
playing
sketchy
that.
outlines of the cities are great.
Yeah, the art styles come under some flack since people have seen it. Pretty much from that point onwards.
Yeah, that'll be it.
And to an extent, I can see where people are coming from with character, with the leader designs. Some of the criticism has been that the Oracle's been built. We were never in danger of building the Oracle, to be fair. So, the criticism is that they look a little bit like the Clash of Clans characters. That there's a sort of homogenization
I can see that with
going
the
on.
troops slightly, to be honest.
Yeah, and perhaps there is a touch of that, but there's also like some unmistakably Civ touches. Like I think the way that the fog of war looks like a sort of hand-drawn
Yeah, that's
treasure
great.
map.
I love that.
Looks really nice.
The water, as I've mentioned before, it's excellent. It's really excellent water.
Yeah, it's really soothing. And I think the leaders themselves, like, however they're drawn, there's something. They're almost like claymation, which I find quite satisfying to watch when they're animated. So I wouldn't say I had any massive problems with it. I did really enjoy Civ 5's sort of Art Deco vibe, and it's hard to move on from that.
I'd like the leaders to have voices.
Yeah, well, they do occasionally. They usually say something when they first meet you, or when they're about to go to war.
It's polite.
Otherwise, it's.
I don't remember Teddy saying, "I'm about to murk you," but
He
maybe
said something
he did.
like he was disappointed in us, and we were like, "Well, that's
oh, look,
nice."
Geneva.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of city-states nearby. Now, if I were a more warlike character, Joel, I would march some of my barbarians in there and take them for myself. But I don't want to incur the wrath of Roosevelt and Pedro again.
Politics is the art of the possible, the attainable. The art
So
of
we have the opportunity now to change basically some of our buff cards that give us like production bonuses and things. Like we've researched a different form of
Yes, I
government,
remember this.
so we can faff around with cards again. I did have a military card dropped in there because I was at war. You'll remember.
I will. I will remember that. I think we all will, Phil.
That's not the case anymore. So
We'll be
I'm
switching
going to
government
flap around with
forms.
this. So this is the thing that, on an individual level, you don't remember doing when you look back at playing through a game. But everybody does this, right? When it's your first time playing a
You
game,
flip through the menu for ages.
you just look at
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I do that all the time.
Could we
You
edit
don't
it
want to
out?
watch me
I don't
doing
think it would
a
be
let's
as
play
genuine.
with a game with an inventory management system because I just spend ages putting things in places and spinning them around.
Yeah, like that's actually quite a dense information drop there. So I've
So
tried a different government that allows more
What
cards
did you go with?
now.
I didn't see.
I don't remember the name of it, but I was going by the colour. So there's no military. Well, there's a wild card slot at the bottom where I can drop a military card if I want. But it means primarily I can drop 2 of the yellow economic policies in there and 1 diplomatic policy. So I'm going for less of an aggressive style now, edging towards that science victory. So
Is one of them called caravanseries? Is that a word?
where's that one? Oh yeah, caravanseries.
Is that a word?
Plus 2 gold from all trade
I don't
routes.
think
I'm not
it
doing
is.
much trading at the
I don't
moment.
think they've made that up.
Yeah.
First
we've
envoy
gone
you
with
send
that.
to each city-state counts as 2 envoys.
So some city-states will
God
give me a
King.
science bonus. So if I send an envoy and they become particularly friendly with me, then they'll start giving me a science bonus. So I'm starting to put the foundations together towards being a science civ.
A nerd.
A nerd.
Big nerd.
And to be honest, I didn't really give much thought towards the civics tree at all during this playthrough, because I wasn't going for a culture victory, and I checked things to see if they, anything that they do gives me any science. But I thought like just keep it really simple because I've had a bit of a tough time in the first
Struggling enough anyway.
the first few goes.
We'll probably have to wrap it up there for this episode. So like and subscribe, and we will be back with more to come.
Yeah, I can be. So I'm building a campus district in Osaka. Am I going to do it this time? Go on, Phil, just click it. Go on,
You
just
know you
click
want
it.
to. Gosh, it's tense, isn't it?